If your goal is to love what you do, I discovered follow your passion can be bad advice. It's more important to become good at something rare and valuable and then invest the career capital this generates into the type of traits that make a job great. The traits of control and mission are two good places to start. Cal Newport. So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport challenges conventional wisdom about how to achieve career satisfaction and success. Most of us have heard the advice, follow your passion, as the key to a fulfilling career. Newport argues that this advice is not only misleading, but also potentially harmful. Instead, he proposes a more pragmatic and evidence-based approach, where the focus should be on developing rare and valuable skills, what he calls career capital, that can lead to a meaningful and satisfying work life. The problem with passion. Newport begins by deconstructing the passion hypothesis, the idea that the key to occupational happiness is to find your true passion and then pursue a career aligned with that passion. He points out that there are several flaws with this approach. 1. Passion is rare. Newport argues that very few people actually have a pre-existing passion that can be easily turned into a career. Many people don't know what their passion is, or they have multiple interests that don't directly translate into a clear career path. 2. Passion is dangerous. Relying on passion can lead to chronic job hopping or dissatisfaction because passion alone doesn't ensure a successful career. Passion can fade, especially when faced with the day-to-day realities of a job, and it may not provide the necessary motivation to overcome challenges or to develop the skills needed for long-term success. 3. Passion is a side effect. Newport suggests that passion often follows mastery rather than precedes it. When people become highly skilled in a particular field, they tend to develop a passion for it. Thus, passion is often the result of putting in the hard work to become so good they can't ignore you. The craftsman mindset versus the passion mindset. Newport introduces two contrasting mindsets, the passion mindset and the craftsman mindset. The passion mindset. This is the mindset that focuses on what the world can offer you, specifically how your job can fulfill your passion. It's a self-centered approach that can lead to constant dissatisfaction, especially when the reality of a job doesn't match up to one's ideals. The craftsman mindset. In contrast, the craftsman mindset focuses on what you can offer the world. It emphasizes the importance of honing your skills and providing value. Newport argues that adopting this mindset is essential for building a fulfilling career. Instead of asking, "What can this job do for me?" those with the craftsman mindset ask, "What can I bring to this job?" Newport uses the example of Steve Martin, the famous comedian, to illustrate the craftsman mindset. Martin didn't become a star by following a pre-existing passion for comedy. Instead, he developed a passion for performing by painstakingly honing his craft over many years. His advice to aspiring entertainers, "Be so good they can't ignore you," captures the essence of the craftsman mindset. It's about becoming excellent in your field, regardless of whether it aligns perfectly with your passion from day one. Before we proceed to the next part of Newport's book, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you've enjoyed this summary so far. If you're considering grabbing a copy for yourself, click the link in the description for more info. Building career capital. The concept of career capital is central to Newport's argument. Career capital refers to the skills, knowledge, and experiences that are valuable in the job market. The more career capital you have, the more control you can exert over your career. Newport argues that the craftsman mindset is the key to acquiring this capital. 1. Deliberate practice. Newport emphasizes the importance of deliberate practice in building career capital. Deliberate practice involves pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, seeking feedback, and continuously improving. This type of practice is what allows you to develop rare and valuable skills. Newport gives the example of Jordan Tice, a musician who became highly successful by focusing intensely on improving his skills. Tice didn't rely on passion alone. He committed to deliberate practice, which eventually allowed him to gain recognition and control over his career. 2. The 10,000-hour rule. Although Newport acknowledges Malcolm Gladwell's popularized 10,000-hour rule, the idea that it takes roughly 10,000 hours of practice to achieve mastery, he adds nuance by emphasizing that not all practice is created equal. It's not just about putting in hours, it's about engaging in the right kind of practice, deliberate practice that challenges you and builds career capital. 3. Control traps. Newport warns against what he calls control traps. These are situations where people attempt to gain more control over their careers before they've built up enough career capital. For example, someone might want to quit their job to start their own business, thinking that it will give them more freedom and fulfillment. However, without sufficient career capital, this move can lead to failure and frustration. He shares the story of Thomas, a young man who left his secure job to start a freelance career. Despite his enthusiasm, Thomas struggled because he hadn't yet developed the necessary skills and network to succeed on his own. Newport uses this anecdote to illustrate that while control is important, it must be earned through the accumulation of career capital. The importance of mission. Newport argues that once you've built up enough career capital, the next step is to find a mission that gives your work purpose. A mission is a unifying idea that drives your work forward and provides long-term motivation. Newport suggests that missions are often discovered at the adjacent possible, a concept borrowed from the scientist Stuart Kauffman. The adjacent possible refers to the idea that innovation happens at the boundaries of existing ideas by pushing the envelope just a little further than others have gone. 1. Finding your mission. Newport stresses that finding a mission is not about discovering a pre-existing passion, but about exploring the possibilities within your field as you accumulate career capital. A mission emerges from doing the work and finding opportunities at the intersection of what you're good at and what the world needs. He uses the example of Pardis Sabeti, a computational biologist who found her mission in using data to combat infectious diseases. Sabeti didn't start with a clear passion for this specific mission. It emerged as she developed her skills and explored the possibilities within her field. 2. The law of remarkability. Newport also introduces the concept of the law of remarkability, which states that for a mission to succeed, it must be remarkable, meaning it should be compelling enough to inspire people to talk about it. This remarkability often comes from doing something that stands out, something that is both innovative and valuable. He cites the example of Giles Bockett, a computer programmer who created a series of viral coding projects that gained widespread attention. Bockett didn't find his mission through passion alone. He experimented with various projects until he found something that resonated with others and allowed him to build a remarkable career. Control, autonomy, and the pursuit of mastery. Once career capital is established, Newport suggests that you can leverage it to gain more control and autonomy over your work. This control is crucial for long-term job satisfaction, as it allows you to shape your career according to your values and interests. 1. Control as a reward. Newport argues that control should be seen as a reward for building up career capital. When you're so good they can't ignore you, you gain the leverage needed to negotiate for the type of work, schedule, and autonomy that suits your lifestyle and values. 2. The dangers of early control. Newport cautions against seeking too much control too early in your career. Without enough career capital, early attempts at gaining control can backfire. For instance, someone might desire to work remotely or freelance without realizing that they haven't yet developed the necessary skills to make this a viable option. Control must be earned through mastery. Newport shares the story of a software engineer who prematurely tried to transition into a less structured role, only to find that without the necessary skills and connections, the role became unsustainable. This anecdote reinforces the idea that control is best pursued after establishing yourself as indispensable in your field. 3. The Zen valedictorian. Newport concludes by introducing the concept of the Zen valedictorian. This person balances the pursuit of career capital with the pursuit of a meaningful life. Rather than burning out in a frantic race for success, the Zen valedictorian methodically builds their skills, finds a mission, and gains control over their work, all while maintaining a sense of calm and purpose. In conclusion, So Good They Can't Ignore You offers a refreshing and practical perspective on career success. Newport's insights challenge the conventional advice of following your passion and instead advocate for a more disciplined approach focused on skill building, deliberate practice, and the accumulation of career capital. By adopting the craftsman mindset, seeking out opportunities for deliberate practice, and carefully building career capital, you can create a fulfilling career that offers both satisfaction and success. The message is clear: don't chase after passion. Instead, work hard to master your craft and let passion flow. By doing so, you'll be able to create a career that is not only fulfilling, but also remarkable. Please stick around for our next beneficial book summary, How to Trade in Stocks by Jessie Livermore. See you soon, my friends.